certified criminal defense attorney with offices in Valdosta and Douglas, Georgia. Today on Facebook Live, what we want to do is talk about racing in Georgia and what a serious offense it is. And the reason I want to talk about that is because I've gotten several, in the past couple of weeks, several families that have called and their child or their young adult that they're responsible for has gotten a racing charge and gotten in trouble with it, didn't realize how serious the charge was. They just went down and paid the charge, and now their license is suspended. And it's bringing on a lot of additional issues with them, and that's what we wanted to talk about today. If you would, I would appreciate it if you would like and share the video. That way we get this information out to as many people as we can, and I want to get everybody as much information about these criminal offenses as I can. Also, if you'd like a copy of my newest book, which is The Truth About Your Georgia Criminal Case, just go online on our website, and that's McCraney.com. Fill out the request form, and we'll send you a copy of that book absolutely free. And it goes through the procedures and the process of a criminal case in Georgia. Okay? Now, one other thing, if you would like the video and share it, we'd appreciate that, but if you would also tell us where you're watching from. If you'll tell us where you're watching from, that helps us get an idea of where we're getting this information out and where we're getting it to the people in the state, and quite frankly, right now it's going all over the world. It's just amazing. But if you'll tell us where you're watching from, we'll enter you into a drawing, and we give away koozies that say Stolen from McCraney Law Firm. They're perfect for going in a golf cart or something like that. They work great. We'll send those to you absolutely free. And I need to go ahead and say, we had a lot of people watching last week's video. We had people from Valdosta, Tifton, Moultrie, Thomasville, Doe Run, Hayhira, Homerville, Fargo, all the way over to Brunswick, over in Glenn County. We had people from Darien. We had people from South Carolina watching. Douglas, my hometown of Willacoochee. I mean, just all over the place. And the winner from last week was actually from Valdosta. So if you were watching from Valdosta last week, go on, message us, give us your information. We'll be glad to send you those koozies absolutely free. And if you'd like the video, share the video and tell us where you're watching from. We'll enter you into the drawing for the video for this week. Okay? Now let's talk a little bit about racing in Georgia. When I came up, we didn't think it was that big of a deal. You know, a lot of us boys would go out, we drag race cars. Our parents didn't know what we were doing. We thought we were doing it in a safe manner. You know, we got out in the middle of nowhere. You know, we certainly didn't do it in town. We were just out in the middle of nowhere. You know, sort of a boys will be boys or our kids will be kids kind of thing. And that's not the attitude that you need to take now, because now racing in Georgia carries up to 12 months in jail, right? $1,000 fine plus court costs, fees and expenses, license suspension if it brings it up to your points of 15 points in 24 months, or a license suspension simply for the charge if you're convicted. If you're under 21, your license is suspended for 6 months. Also, there's community service involved and probation. So the main thing that the parents are concerned about is their insurance rates going just skyrocketing because of conviction, and they're concerned about losing the driver's license because they'll have to start back carrying that child all over the place, or that young person all over the place, and they just really can't afford to do that. So racing, let's explain what racing is, because we've had a little issue between racing and what lay and drag is. Now, racing is two vehicles trying to outpace, outdistance, outgain, or prevent another vehicle from passing. All right, that's basically what racing is. So you got two vehicles out there racing. So the way an officer can prove that, the best way is with video evidence. If he's got video evidence that shows two cars drag racing, you know, that's something that is a little easier for the state to try to prove that case, rather than just the officer believing that the two individuals were attempting to race. Okay, so that's sort of what we're dealing with racing. Now, if you get charged with that, you need to get an experienced attorney to represent you, because if you don't, I mean, the downside is tremendous. And it's not one of these things where you just pay the fine and it's no big deal, because it will literally come back to haunt you. Okay? Now, again, I'm George McCraney, DUI and criminal defense attorney with offices in Valdosta and Douglas, Georgia. If you'd like to contact us, you can reach us at 833-927-6227 or online at our website, McCraneyLawFirm.com. We're over in the Valdosta office today, and you might be able to hear the train as it's going by down there. Our office is right close to Remington, and the train comes by. So if you hear the train whistle, you know, you're lucky, I guess. Now, let's talk about what lay and drag is, because that's not racing. Now, lay and drag carries the same penalties, except for the points and the license suspension. Up to $1,000 fine, 12 months in jail, probation, community service, everything that you would get with a racing, you get with a lay and drag, but it doesn't result in an automatic license suspension. Okay, it puts 3 points on your license. That's where it is. So it's not quite as serious as racing, but they are two completely different things. Now, lay and drag requires that spinning the tires or driving in such a manner that it causes the vehicle to go in a circular motion, or zigzag course, or gyrate, or spin around. Okay, spin around, not spin the tires. All right, now that's what lay and drag requires. Now, spinning the tires or driving in a manner that, you know, is called burning rubber is not lay and drag. Okay, so just simply spinning the tires. One time, you know, when I was in college, I stopped at a red light. There was a puddle of oil, and when I tried to go, I couldn't go, and I didn't realize what was going on. I gave the car too much gas, or a little bit too much gas. It didn't go side to side. It just spun the tire. But I wasn't lay and drag. I was simply trying to move because I didn't realize I was in a puddle of oil. So there are defenses to these cases, especially the racing, because if there's no video involved, it comes down to the officer's belief, and an experienced attorney is what you need to defend yourself against those kind of charges. Now, if you've got a situation where you've got a young person that's involved in this, or quite frankly, it could be an older person. I'm quite competitive myself. I try not to drag race or race and, you know, anything like that. But if you get this type of charge, you need to please take it seriously, because this thing can result in license suspensions, and some people lose their jobs if they lose their license. I mean, if you lose your job, you lose your house. Some people, you know, lose their career, their homes. You know, it's terrible. So treat it very seriously, and if you need an attorney, please find an attorney that you're comfortable with, that's experienced in handling these type of cases, and they will hopefully get you out of this type of situation. Again, I'm George McCraney with offices in Douglas and Valdosta, Georgia. We do DUI and criminal defense work. You can reach us at 833-927-6227 or online at McCraneyLawFirm.com. Thank you.